Well, isn't that beautiful? All right, I just hit the go live button.
Already?
Yep, I hit the go live.
What's going on, everybody? Sorry about the little bit of a delay. We got dumped on here in Anchorage, Alaska. Like 2 feet of snow. It was not very in any way, shape, or form. But we're here. We got some basketball on the slate today, so we can get into it right away. Yukon taking on Florida, and probably the best game on the board here today. When I give Beaver the games on a day-to-day basis to look at, I just use a thrill score, which is a category that Ken Palm uses, and this is by far the highest thrill score on the day, coming in at 71. But and you can always find that on Ken Palm if you're looking for that stuff. But anyway, Florida, Yukon. I'll tell you where I'm at in my head as far as this one. I gave out the under to the clients overnight, so they had it this morning at 144.5. Obviously, it came down to 143.5. Definitely leading under in this game and then I'm also going to be trying to take a look at Florida. I wrote in my write-up, I'm going to hold off to hoping we get 5. I'm curious to see where that line is in a couple hours. Some of these lines just kind of move kind of fast. We saw last night with Duke get all the way down to -1.5 by the time just before tip happened, if whatnot. That was like easy money. I'm sorry, or what? Yeah, 1.5. I ended up taking the money line and telling everybody to take the money line at -120. So that's just really, really cheap. But anyway, this game, Yukon, why are you trying to fade Yukon right now? That they haven't lost. They're just dominating everybody. Look, it's just kind of like it's more of like a sell high spot for them. They just got done beating Oregon, Alabama, Iowa State, Oklahoma on a couple of neutrals and home. And now they got to come and face their true first road test in Florida against a Florida team that I will give you hasn't been great. They had lost to Florida Atlantic. That really wasn't pretty. They had it was actually very ugly. They lost to Xavier. That game was only 7. It was on a neutral floor. And then West Virginia just absolutely throttled this team. That's kind of why I'm waiting on 5, just because I still have a little scar tissue betting this Florida team. I did have them against West Virginia, and it wasn't even close. But they've came back the next couple nights against obviously much weaker competition. They got some things right. I really do like Todd Golden. He's coming over from San Francisco. The one thing that Florida can do and does well is defense. 55th in the country in defensive adjusted efficiency. Again, UConn's number 10. They're the only team. I'm pretty sure they're the only team in the top 10 that's both top 10 offensive and defensive efficiency. There isn't a lot of holes with Yukon, but the one thing that I do think that Florida can do is match up size-wise. Sonogo is the big guy for Yukon in the inside. Florida has Colin Castleton. He's not 7 foot, or I'm sorry, Sonogo's not even 7 foot. He's only like 6. I think he's like 6'9" or 6'10". Castleton's actually taller than him. Castleton's 6'11", and I think he's a little bit more athletic. So he should be able to get Sonogo away from the basket a little bit. I think that the public's going to be heavy on Yukon. I think this is under first. But I think that if we can get 5 with Florida, I'm definitely on Florida too. If I have to take Florida at 4.5, I'll probably take that as well. But we'll see what it's at. Michigan, Penn State is the next one up on the board. And this one, it sucks because if Michigan State was healthy, it would be a lot better game to look at. Obviously, Penn State's taking a little bit of money here. It was 2.5 last night, 3.5 now. I did have a play in this game for my clients as well. Just like the first game, I like it under. Look, both teams play through their defense. Michigan State is still going to be without Malik Hall. Both of these teams top, really good defensively. Like I said, Penn State 57th in adjusted efficiency. Michigan State 68th, but the pace, the average possession length for both teams north of the 200s. Neither team likes to really get up and down. Neither team does a particularly good job of rebounding either. So I don't see a lot of second chance points happening. Penn State shoots the three ball pretty well, but at the same time, Michigan State's pretty long and lengthy. They do a pretty good job of defending the perimeter. The one thing that Penn State does have on Michigan State is Penn State's the number one most experienced team in the country. So their offense is pretty good. I can understand why they're taking money, especially with Michigan State not having Malik Hall. But I like under in the game. I lean Penn State. I'm not really crazy about laying 3.5 with Penn State. This Sparty team has just kind of shown some fight this year, so I'm just really not trying to lay 3.5 with Penn State against especially with all the money's going to be on Penn State as well. So, under for me. I would lean Sparty for a little bit of a fade the public at the number. I think they keep it close in this under game. Excuse me. Next game up is Dayton and Virginia Tech. And this is another one where I really wanted to take Dayton, but they're kind of like 70% of the money is on them. That said, this Virginia Tech team is really good. They have one loss on the year. That was to Charleston. I say it a lot. Charleston is a really hard team to prepare for, especially when you have to play them at their gym. They really get up and down and whatnot. Really fast paced. But anyway, this Virginia Tech team is fresh off of 2 wins against Minnesota and North Carolina. Those are both quality wins. Really good offense, 17th best in adjusted efficiency. They do not turn the ball over. That's another really good positive thing. They're 5th in turnover percentage. This Dayton team, on the other hand, defensively is where they hold their nose. They try to muck it up with you. They do not play a fast pace at all. 270th in pace. And then they are 30th in defensive efficiency. So Dayton obviously likes to slow the game down, play through their defense, and keep it close. I understand everybody on Dayton. I get that. I would lean, I guess, because since everybody's on Dayton, I kind of sort of lean to Virginia Tech. I kind of think they're a juggernaut. I really am bullish on the Virginia Tech team. Not really there with Mike Young as a coach yet as far as taking them as like a future. But I really like this team. They're long. They're athletic. Grant Basil is 6'9". He's a senior. I really like what he can do. They got Sean Padula, Justin Mutz, a couple other guys. So I would look at Virginia Tech. Some might say that this is like a little bit of a sandwich spot with Oklahoma State on deck after just playing North Carolina, but I don't really see it like that. I think the ACC is down in general, so I just have a feeling that all these teams are going to continue to play hard. Plus, Dayton's not Old Dominion or William and Mary or Lehigh or something like that. They're 62nd in Ken Palm, so I would assume the Hokies know if they don't come to play today, it's not going to be an easy one. So I would lay with the Hokies. I think you get a focused effort out of them today. Pittsburgh and Vanderbilt. This sucks. I love Pittsburgh here. I've been riding this Pittsburgh team. The issue is, and why I didn't bet it and give it out last night, everybody's on Pitt. Everybody's on Pitt. I'm on Pitt too. It's public. I hate it. But give me Pitt plus 3.5. I would play Pitt on the money line too. Look, Vanderbilt is decent. Like, I don't want to – I'm not trying to take shots at them, but I just don't – I think that we're getting Pittsburgh at a really good price. They've already played a couple of away games. I guess the only way you're betting against Pitt right now is that they're on the road. It's their 3rd straight away game. The fact that Hughley wasn't really healthy, so maybe you're getting him at not 100%. I'm gasping at straws right now to figure out ways to fade this Pitt team here. Like, I just don't get it. They're playing really, like I said, they're playing really, really well. 8-point win against NC State. NC State's a really good basketball team and can score. So to hold that 60, that's pretty damn impressive. Again, Pittsburgh throttled Northwestern too. Vanderbilt, on the other hand, two players that you really got to watch, Liam Robbins and Jordan Wright. Those are the two seniors that really do everything for them. They can't shoot free throws. That's one thing that bothers me in a game that's, 3.5 a possession or so. They don't shoot free throws very well at all. They don't offensive rebound very well at all. They don't take the ball away on defense at all. 263 in turnover percentage on defense, 341 in free throw shooting. It's just really hard to like it. But again, it's really hard to love Pitt when everybody loves Pitt. With my luck, probably the public will win again. But yeah, I'm on Pitt. But again, I don't love it. It's super, super public. But I just can't figure. I'm public Pete today. I just can't figure out a way to lay it with Vanderbilt. There's no way in hell unless you're just completely fading the public. DePaul and St. John's. This line makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, I understand that St. John's has been decent, but 9? I mean, they're playing in Jamaica, Queens. I mean, they're Carneseca. I guess that's probably better than Big Arena, but I'm just not seeing it. They got David Jones, Posh, Andre Curbelo, but all those guys still. Curbelo doesn't really do much for me. He still turns it over. St. John's, they have played well, but they haven't played anybody that great. They beat Temple, Nebraska, Syracuse are the three teams that you can compare DePaul to as far as KenPom rankings. I don't know. I'm taking the points with DePaul here, guys. It just doesn't make sense to me. St. John's defense is 40th in KenPom and all that. Look, I just don't see it yet. I just don't trust this St. John's team. I don't have a lot. This isn't a VIP play or anything, but Curbelo and Posh and stuff like that have been really good for them. But again, I just think that 9's too many in a Big East Conference game. I'm pretty sure, it's their first Big East Conference game. So, and again, St. John's takes and shoots a lot of threes. They 262nd in the country at shooting the three ball. And like I said, they don't shoot free throws well at all. Under 70% as a team. DePaul almost near 80% as a team. That's 15th, good for 15th in the country. I'm taking the points with DePaul. Their defense is kind of lackluster. They're going to give some offensive rebounds most likely, but I like the shooting. And I like the experience from DePaul too. Also, I think they're a top 20 team in experience, or 22. Sorry. So they know what they're doing. I'll trust Gibson, Javin Johnson, Deshaun Nelson, and those cats to cover the 9. Give me DePaul plus the 9. Yeah, Kyle, I don't hate Sparty plus 3 at all. I saw somebody asking about St. Mary's. Yes, I do love St. Mary's today. I gave it out to clients at 13. I think it's at 14.5 now or something like that, or 14. It is a low total, so just be careful when you're starting to lay numbers even more than 14, 13, or 14. But they've lost 3 games in a row. I think South Missouri State or whatever doesn't have a chance in hell of scoring. I think they get throttled, but we'll see what happens. So that's it for me. Same time, same place tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys later.